Good morning. At this time, while Veterans Day is primarily a tribute to America's living veterans and should be observed more as a celebration than a somber remembrance, it is always appropriate to include a moment of respect for those who gave their lives for their country. The 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month of 1918 signaled the end of World War I. It's known as Armistice Day. It was renamed Veterans Day in 1954 by President Eisenhower. And it is also Remembrance Day in the United Kingdom and Canada, which Peter has shared many moments with me. So at this time, please uncover and join me for a moment of silence. Thank you. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce Heather Lackey, who will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Beautiful. At this time, we have another surprise. I'd like to introduce two World War II vets that are here. Mr. Wally Gullen. Waldy's birthday is tomorrow, 97 years old. And I'd also like to introduce World War II vet Daniel Sant, who's going to play the harmonica for us. God bless America.
Okay, God bless America, everybody.
after the ceremony, we're going to leave the mic on, and Daniel's going to do some of the service hymns for us, right?
Right.
Good. Okay. Well, welcome, all you vets. This is Veterans Day. It's going to be a celebration. How about all you vets, raise your hand, keep them up so everybody can see who you are. Thank you, and we'll have some social time afterwards so that you can all meet them and say hi and thank them for their service. Also, want you to notice we have all the service flags here: Army, Navy, Coast Guard. The Marine Corps is on the veteran flagpole because their birthday, 246th birthday, was yesterday, and that'll stay up there all week. We also have some flags most of you probably don't know. Anybody familiar with the U.S. Public Health Service? The yellow flag. I know we have one vet in town who served in the Public Health Service. Is he here? I forget his name. He showed me where to buy the flag. I also have the NOAA flag, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration. I don't think anybody we have in town that served there. And the newest service is the Space Force. It's only been about 3 years old. Anybody serve in the Space Force? Got to be pretty young to be in that one, I guess. Okay. So you guys made it. Have to think back a long time. I remember going through boot camp and finally graduating and taking that sigh of relief. And for some of us, that was a long time ago. But keep in mind, there are only 18 million veterans in the U.S. today, alive. And that's about 7% of our adult population. So it's very small. You're a very small group, very proud group, and we have a very unique sense of camaraderie. And I know you've all seen that. We saw it at our cookout in September. At this time, I have a number of people to thank and announcements. The first announcement is we have a table over here with a brochure from Senator Hartman's office, New York State benefits. Anybody can make use of this, please go take one. There's also many flags there for anybody that wants them. And of course, there's 2 donation boxes, strictly for the Veteran Committee. We're totally self-sufficient, never asked for town money, never will. So anybody wants to contribute, please do. And now I need to make a big thank you to recognize Troop 1338 Girl Scouts. They started the cookie delivery 11 years ago and are now going off to college. So this will be the last one for them. And I'd like them to come up if they're close enough. Carolina Ball, Allison Longo, Riley Nastasio, Tilly Spencer, and of course their leader, Doreen Nastasio. So 11 years of cookie delivery. And it will continue, I'm told. I don't know how or who, but it will continue. That's 300 people, veterans every year. It's amazing. Thank you, girls. I also have a thank you to our town maintenance crew who have worked with me on the service flags and setting up for this event. They've done an amazing job. I want to thank Joel his team, Sean, Chris, and Kevin. Wonderful job. And also want to thank Eddie, who volunteered and has always helped. I saw him here somewhere. Also, while they were setting up, Copia came and donated the plantings in front and cleaned up our monument. So I really want to thank them. They've been a big contributor. And thank you to South Salem Fire Department for breakfast this morning. It's an annual event, and it was well attended and served by Troop 1. The Boy Scouts did a marvelous job of serving and being with the vets. And of course, I have to thank all our first responders, our police, our fire departments, all three of them, and our LVAC. Thank Troop 101 for the flags in the back. And next Saturday, they're having a camp out, cooking turkeys, and we'll have a turkey dinner for vets at Onatru at 4 o'clock. I'll be there. I'm bringing a couple vets with me, and I hope more of you can come. They're also delivering to about 30 seniors, people that can't physically make it. So I'd like to see a good showing Saturday afternoon. Thank Troop 154 and 301 for the flag drop box, which is around the corner. And today they will be doing a flag retirement for us as part of the ceremony a little bit later. And last, I've got to thank the Lewisboro Lions Club, my club, for hosting the cookout on September 28th, and for cooking today, hamburgers and hot dogs. First time that we've done that at Veterans Day. And it'll give us time to socialize and say hi. And some of you vets, we can tell stories. I heard a good story yesterday at the John Jay High School. The principal was in the National Guard boot camp, and he made a comment. He remembers cleaning toilets with a toothbrush and singing, "I'll be all I can be." And anything to keep yourself entertained. So that probably sounds familiar, right? All right, at this time, we'll move on to our speakers. I'm very proud to introduce the person that's been instrumental in establishing this Veterans Committee, and our new supervisor, Tony Conglamis. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I don't have a prepared speech, but I want to, first of all, congratulate and thank the veterans for your service and your sacrifice to this country. I want to thank the crowd, the Kids Community Club for coming out. That was a beautiful bike parade. So that's great. Looking forward to the next one next year. You know, the fact that we have 2 World War II veterans is amazing here. Waldy Golan, who is also a Lions Club, a founding member of the club when the club was chartered in 1958. Dan Sant, who's a neighbor of mine in Goldens Bridge. So thank you both for coming out. And of course the Lions Club. They're part of my family. Great people. Love hanging out with them. I'm kind of jealous that I'm not there right now on working the grill, but I'll be joining them in a little while. But I think we have to remember that today is a very special day. We should always remember the sacrifice that these veterans have given to this country, and looking forward to future events like this and future barbecues like we did last month. And so thank you, John Lemke, we're right here, for all you've done in setting this up and organizing the events. And Heather Lackey for that beautiful rendition. I didn't have to twist her arm when I asked her, so beautiful voice. Thank you very much, Heather. And then we have, Neil, which will be playing the bugle, longtime friend of mine, and looking forward to Neil playing taps on his bugle. So thank you all very much again for coming out. And with that, I will turn it over to, I think it's back to John.
Yeah.
Thanks, John.
Thank you. I'd now like to introduce our main speaker, our supervisor, Peter Parsons. And he and I have had a lot of fun. We're both artillery officers for different countries, of course. And we both had experiences of firing rounds out of range. One morning, I know he was in charge of a group that fired a round into a playground. And just by sunup, it was repaired and dug up and everything was clear. Nobody knew the difference. And I actually shot a round out of range into a field with steers, and nobody died. It was okay, but a lot of investigation. But all lived, and so you can all feel safe that we learn from our mistakes. But seriously, Peter is somebody I truly respect and has helped with the Veterans Committee from the very beginning. So I'll turn it over to him. Peter Parsons.
Speaking at Veterans Day and Memorial Day is one of the real privileges of being town supervisor. And it's fun. Well, Veterans Day is fun. Yes, I was an artillery officer. I think I had a bigger gun than you.
I won't go there.
I was thinking of parking a 7.2 inch right in front of the townhouse, but it might cause a bit of a mess, particularly if we fired it. Yes, I did have some fun in the Army. I did land a shell in a school playing field. Luckily, it was 4 a.m. and they weren't playing. And by the time they got up, there was no sign of what had happened. The War Office was was determined that we would show no evidence. I also just avoided a court-martial when I was the orderly officer at the castle in Edinburgh. And somebody stole the flag while we were changing the guard. Now, anybody who's been there will know it's hard to keep standing up in that particular parade ground, particularly when you're holding your sword erect. However, in the end, I managed to escape from that one. I've got lots of memories of the American Army. The biggest memory of the American Army is that you always gave me chocolate as a kid. Another memory is that the American soldiers who were camped around our house were not necessarily very experienced in manning their equipment. And my school bus was knocked clean off the road and landed in a field on its side after being hit by a tank transporter. The tank transporter, apparently the driver thought that no civilians were using this road. Well, the school bus was. Nobody was hurt, although we were all a bit shaken up when we landed there. Being serious for a moment, I think people like myself benefited a lot from having been in the Army for a few years. It taught us something about management of people. It taught us something about service, and it was basically a huge part of growing up. And I almost wish that we went back to the draft, although not necessarily to go in the Army, because I don't think we have a requirement for that many people. But we might have a requirement for people to do the equivalent of the Peace Corps, for people to go around the world and teach, for people to work in hospitals around the world, to provide medical services, and to provide services in the armed services. And I personally think that would be a great move. I think I'm very much in the minority on that, but that's not unusual. Before I finish, I want to go back to something I normally say on Memorial Day. A member of my college named Lawrence Binion, wrote these words: "They shall not grow old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them." I think that's important, because even after the major wars, our armed forces are involved in wars where it's hard at times to know why we're fighting. I was involved in one of those in the British Army. It was plaintively obvious from the beginning what the end result was going to be, and it wasn't going to help us very much. But we were stuck there. And as you will know, you don't have any choice in the Army but to obey. And some of them did get killed. So I say with some feeling, we will remember them. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. You probably got some Lucky Strikes non-filter with that chocolate, right? At this time, I'd like to introduce Golden's Bridge Boy Scout troops, Girl Scout troops, 154 and 301, who painted the flag drop box and are now going to demonstrate and show us how to properly retire American flags. So I'll turn it over to them. Troop 154 and 301.
Good morning. Today we are going to retire an old, worn flag. Please rise.
The basic flag of the United States is one of the world's oldest national flags. It was officially adopted on June 14, 1777, when the Continental Congress resolved that the flag of the United States will be 13 stripes, alternate red and white, and the Union will be 13 stars, white in a blue field, representing a new constellation. The 13 white stars in a field of blue represented 13 colonies that had declared their independence in 1776. Stars were uncommon in flags in that era, although the American example has since made them popular. After Vermont and Kentucky joined the Union about 20 years later, 2 stars and 2 stripes were added to the flag. Such a 15-star, 15-striped flag inspired Francis Scott Key to write the Star-Spangled Banner.
When the flag turned 40 years old, there were 20 states in the Union, and it became apparent that adding 1 stripe for each new state would destroy the shape of the flag. As a result, Congress in 1818 reported the original design of 13 stripes and provided that each state was to be represented by 1 star. Altogether, the stars and stripes has been through 27 versions. The most recent was introduced on July 4th, 1960, after Hawaii was admitted to statehood and became our 50th state.
Today, we're going to retire an old flag, which has become worn beyond repair. The flag will then be burned until it has been completely turned into ashes. This is not a flag burning, but rather a flag retirement, a solemn ceremony to honor a worn symbol of the United States of America.
Thank you, Scouts. I'm really glad. I'm glad we all got to see it done and done right. Appreciate it. And now I'd like to introduce Neil Fiegler, and please join me on cover for taps. Thank you all. That concludes our ceremony. Please stick around. See the Lions Club, hamburgers, hot dogs. Let's socialize. You might actually hear a good veteran story or two. So thank you all for coming. Have a great day.
It's really his hearing and his one.
Well, that's what we're trying to do is like the middle, like pre.
Hi, I'm Dave Phillips, and this is Sue Vales from the Lewisboro Lions Club. And we're here to support the Lewisboro Veterans Day activities by grilling a bunch of hamburgers and hot dogs for everybody. So looking forward to a really good day and some really good activities for the veterans. Thanks.
And then as soon as they come back with a tray, we'll get this together.
You're watching Lewisboro Community Television, Channel 20.